today we also have the co-founder of Social Shifters, or one of the co-founders of Social Shifters, Jonathan, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, I'm Jonathan. Thanks for the introduction. I'm delighted to be here. Social Shifters is all about supporting young leaders across the world, and it's great to see such a spread of exciting faces on screen.
And I'm Christina, the Community Engagement Manager at Social Shifters, and my role is to connect with youth networks, partners, keeping a good relationship with the whole community, basically. So we are really happy to have this session with everyone joining today. So yes, this is your opportunity to ask all the questions you might have about the challenge, any doubts you have, or any tips you would like to get to have a successful application. So we would recommend for you to pop any question in the chat box that you have. But basically, we are going to start with the two questions we have from from a shifter sent by email. So maybe we can start with these. So the first one is, after an application has been submitted, can the team members be added, and what are the minimum members of a successful team? So that's our first question. And basically, yes, I think the minimum, well, the maximum amount of team members we can have in a team is 5, including the team leader. And yeah, there is no minimum amount of members, I think. As long as, well, it's more recommended to join as a team because you will have support from your peers. But I don't know if John or Natasha, you would like to add anything to this one?
Yeah, I think the other part of the question was, after an application has been submitted, can team members be added? So I think the main point there is make sure that you add your team members at the point of registration. When you first register as a team leader, then on that screen, what you're able to do is just add other team members, just a name and email address, and that will get them registered. So make sure that you do that up front. And yeah, to be a successful team, yeah, it doesn't require any certain amount of people. The main thing is that you have all of the skills and experience around you that you need. That team could be, you know, advisors. If you're a student, it could be your faculty advisor. It could be a professional you work with. It could be a mentor. So you might have other people around you. But for the purposes of this, this competition, it's great if you can get friends, colleagues that have skills to be part of your team, and make sure that you add them at the point of registration. And another question here, we must be a team. Well, no, you can enter the competition on your own. That's absolutely fine. But one of the criteria is sort of the feasibility of your idea, and the judges will be looking to ensure that in your application you can demonstrate that you have the support, you have the skills and experience to actually deliver on your project idea. So it's certainly recommended that you add other team members, but in the form, you've certainly got the opportunity to say what support that you have around you, or to demonstrate that you on your own have the skills that you need to deliver the project.
Okay, perfect. Someone is asking as well if the registration is different from the application. So there are 2 forms to join. You have the registration first and then the application. So are there any differences between those?
So put simply, the registration form are those first few fields that you fill in. So your name, your email address, your location, and optional questions about are you a student, and your gender. Once you complete those registration questions, then you'll get in and you'll see your competition dashboard in the platform, and there you'll find your application form. So just a few registration questions to get in, really quick to complete, and then once you're in, you'll see the application form.
Perfect. Natasha, you would like to read the other ones?
Okay, so we have a question from Raphael. I hope I'm saying it right. So it says, drawing from that question, do all team members need to be under 30 years old? If the team members are in different parts of the world, is that okay? And if some team members are students, do we need to enter as a student team or not?
Yeah, you can certainly be a student. Your entire team can be students, or none of you can be students. So there's no issue at all. We welcome young people from right across the world, regardless of background, your education or situation. We're just really looking for motivated young leaders and great ideas. If you are a student team, that's helpful for us to know in the application form. It will ask that question and it will ask for your university. That's really just to for our information so that we understand where applications are coming from. And elsewhere in the form, you can talk about maybe the steps that you've taken within university to develop your project idea, or the support that you're getting from faculty, advisors and staff members. So it's quite helpful to indicate that you're a student. But certainly you won't be disqualified for a student, and you won't get extra points for being a student. Yeah, all welcome.
And I think there was one more question about if the team members are in different parts of the world, is that okay? And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the registration questions, each individual is asked where they're from. And then in the application form, we just ask what is the main location of your project team. And we recognize that people can be located in different parts of the world. So that's absolutely fine. So if the main point of contact is in a particular country, or the majority of team members are in a particular country, that would be the main location of your project team.
Okay, we have another question popping. Okay, yeah, one of our team members is still a student, but she's over 30 years old. Is that a problem?
So we do ask that all team members are between 18 and 30. Now, if the majority of your team members are, that's absolutely fine. What I wouldn't do is add team members that are over 30, but certainly any members of your student team that are over 30 can still participate, can still be part of the project, but just in terms of registration, just ensure that it is only those between the ages of 18 and 30 are registered. And likewise, you'll be working with other mentors, advisors, faculty and staff that might be supporting you that might be well over 30. So it's great to have them as part of your team, but just when you're registering, make sure that it's only those 18 to 30 that are registered for the competition.
Yeah, because I think it's indicated in the eligibility criteria. You probably will find those in the quick links when you see when you registered, you have an account. So on the challenge page, and you will see there are quite useful links on the left side of your screen. And you can basically consult these. I think there are the judging criteria, the FAQ documents, some resources useful. So it's good to have a look at these links. Okay, someone is asking, what do I do if all of my team members are unable to join, even after an invitation? So that probably is a technical issue now.
That sounds like a technical issue, and maybe what you could do is email us at challenge@socialshifters.co, and we can certainly pick up in that technical issue and just ensure that all your team members are registered from the back end of our platform. So yeah, just drop us an email. Yeah,
I've just popped the email address in the chat for you to take note. And if you have any technical issue, if your team member that you invited seem to struggle to access, yeah, just feel free to email us via that email address. And ideally, it's good to have a screenshot of the issue if you can. If not, that's fine. Just let us know what the problem is, and we'll do our best to help.
Okay, so I also had a question from Facebook. I feel like I should probably ask it now because it was in regards to the drop-in session. So basically the person is asking, what's the timeline for this process? I mean, verification of our applications, announcement of winners, and how many people are going to be selected for the award. So John, that's over to you.
Okay, in terms of the timeline, I'm just looking at it now. So applications will close on the 9th of November. That's next Wednesday, I think. So just make sure you don't miss that important day. Put it in your calendar, write it in your hand, tie a piece of string around your finger to remember. Don't miss the deadline. From there, our period of judging will start. So we've hundreds of volunteer judges from around the world that help us score and offer feedback on applications. So we'll be carrying out that judging until around the middle of December, at which point we will be shortlisting finalists for each of our category prizes and for our smaller prizes across the Sustainable Development Goals. So we will be shortlisting on average eight finalists for each of our main awards, and all of our finalists will get the opportunity to receive mentoring support and to help strengthen their pitch, help strengthen their project idea. And those mentors will be assigned in early January. And you'll get the opportunity to pitch your ideas to our live judging panels then in February, and the winners will be announced in March. So it's a bit of a process there. But while that process is going on, everyone that submits an application will get access to all of our incredible learning content, our e-learning program, which will take you step by step through getting your idea off the ground and into the world. So make sure that you submit your application, and while we're doing all of the judging behind the scenes and shortlisting finalists, you'll get access to some incredible support and get the opportunity to access mentors and other support as the process goes on.
Yeah. Someone seems to be confused about the registration question. So I think so the person has been asked to provide their name and email address. So they're confused if they will make an application later. I think, yeah, these are two different steps. You register first, and then once you register, you log in and you complete your application. You still have to complete an application. Registering for only is not an application in itself. But yeah, maybe John, you can elaborate on this.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right, Christina. So to get into our competition platform and fill in that application form, you'll need to fill in those few pieces of information, your name, your email address, etc. And that will enable you to log in to our competition platform. So the password that you set means that you can come back in to the application form in your competition dashboard. And you've got until the 9th of November to complete that. Your application will be automatically saved as you go along. So once you log out, you can come back in and complete it at any point up to the 9th of November. So a few pieces of information, just your name, your email address, you'll set a password, and that will get you back into your application form.
Okay. So I have another question as well from our Instagram. It says, does this challenge require any kind of employment contracts or applications that need to be signed?
No, it doesn't. So this is your opportunity to submit your project idea. It can be a new concept, a new idea. It might be a project or social enterprise idea that you're already working on or have started. There is no contract between Social Shifters and you, no contract of employment, no equity contract. It's simply an application. So you don't need to be employed, and there's no employment contract involved.
Perfect. Someone is asking if they can access the session recording in case they want to get back to it for answers. We are recording this session at the moment, so we also have a YouTube channel where we post lots of videos, so highlights of our sessions that you can find. So we are definitely recording this, and then we will be posting some content on social media and maybe YouTube. so don't worry about this. And also you feel free to email us your questions on the same email address, challenge@socialshifters.co. If you can't make the full session, you can always send us your questions. So yeah, someone is asking, they've already completed their application and some of their team members are above 30. Can they edit them?
So you won't be able to edit them once your application has been submitted, but if you reach out to us directly at challenge@socialshifters.co, we'll be able to help you address that issue of ineligible team members. So we can help you sort that out. That's not an issue.
Brilliant. I have a question as well. What is the criteria that participants will be evaluated or that will evaluate the ideas? What are the criteria we're using to judge the ideas?
So there are 4 main criteria that our judges will be considering and looking for in your project. Now, it could be a new idea, it could be one that a project or enterprise that you're already working on. So that's not a main consideration. We're just looking for 4 main things. The first is that your idea or your project or business solution will make an impact. And we're looking for solutions that will help solve important social and environmental problems. We're looking for problems that are widespread, that are urgent, that are important to solve. And we're looking for you to be able to clearly describe those problems and evidence them in the form. So that first open question is a really good opportunity for you just to frame this issue that you're working on and make it as clear as possible and as specific as possible. And that will help us better understand the project or business solution that you're coming up with. So that first criteria really is impact. The second is innovation. And we're looking for ideas that can offer a breakthrough solution to the problem. It might be meeting an unmet need, so there might not be alternatives. You might be doing something really new, exciting with your product or service. You might be using an interesting approach or innovative methods, something quite different and distinctive from the alternatives out there. And you might have simply come up with a better way of solving the problem than others. So that's the second main criteria. It's some type of innovative aspect to what you're doing or how you're going about it. The third is feasibility. And what we're really looking for is project proposals that have a realistic chance of being delivered and have a realistic chance of success. And that can mean a few things: that the way that you describe your project, it's clear to us that it's actually well designed and thought through, that you've got clear goals, clear milestones, clear activities. We can see that you've got a plan in place. And the third main bit is that you've got the skills required. So in the entry form, there's your opportunity to tell us a little bit about your team, and the skills that you've got around you. So we just need to ensure that it's a feasible idea that we're awarding our funding to. And the fourth is scalability. So what we're looking for is ideas that can be delivered on an increasing scale and have increasing impact over time. So you might have an absolutely brilliant idea. It might be small scale, it might be localized, but we're looking for, vision, ambition. We're looking for things that can be replicated elsewhere in the world. We're looking for things with the opportunity to be financially sustained beyond our project funding. So we're looking for those big, bold ideas. We're looking for your vision. We're looking for your commitment. So the 4 things are impact, innovation, feasibility, and scalability.
Okay, so I think we have another question as well from that. Could it be a seed idea, or does it need to be already partly realized?
It can be at any stage. It can be a big concept in your head that you've researched, that you've been thinking about. It could be a project or business solution that you've already been working on for a time, that you might have prototyped. You might have done some market testing, you might have some customers, so there might be a degree of validation there, or it could have been something that you're really committed to and have maybe been running for a year or two. So it can really be, excuse me, at any stage in the process. And you won't be penalized for not having partly realized the idea yet. But what we're looking for in the application form is that you've done your homework, you've done your research, you've maybe spoken to service users. So there's evidence of the problem, that you've described the design of your project really clearly, and it's well thought through, and that you can demonstrate that you've got a good plan for delivering. Although it's still in the drawing board, although it's still really new, we just need to be convinced that you're the person to realize that vision for the project, and that you're able to take it forward and grow it. So you won't be penalized for just having a big idea. We love big ideas and we want to support them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this challenge is a real opportunity for young change makers that have ideas to speak up, to have a stage early to develop their idea, to use all the resources we have. Really, so don't worry about having a seed idea. Actually, it's good because you can develop it with us and with all the tools we offer on our platform, in our program, in our courses. So really use it to your advantage. You use it to develop your idea, because your idea matters. Even if you're not convinced yet, believe that you will have the support you need to push it to the next level. And yeah, you'll have other shifters to support you as well. So that's what these sessions are for, is to connect you with other shifters. So yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Feel free to put them in the chat. We see people joining still.
This is your big opportunity. The questions can be really big and broad, or they can be really specific to the application.
And for those that have just joined us, if you have any question, please feel free to drop it in our chat and we'll definitely answer your question. And as Jonathan said, it could be any question. Honestly, it could be any question regarding your submission.
And if I can't answer the question, I'll pass it to Christina.
Yeah, I'll do my very best to complete those questions, but you've been answering really good questions today. And oh, there are more popping in the chat. Is there any contract saying that we can't participate to any other competition in parallel?
No, there's not. And we would actually encourage you to look at all of the opportunities available, other incubators, other awards, other accelerator programs. And what you'll find is that our application form will cover all of the basics that other programs and other awards and competitions will be asking for as well. We ask you to describe the problem that you're solving. We ask you to describe your solution, the steps that you've taken. We ask you to set out a realistic plan for delivering your idea and to use our prize funding. So all of the things that we're asking for is a really good discipline just to work through those questions anyway, and they'll form the basis of a business case or the basis of an application to any other program or award. So please use this as an opportunity to test your thinking, to validate your ideas, to get some support from our community, and use a lot of that information to apply for as many awards as you can.
I think there are more questions. Natasha, you want to go for it?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So the next question is from Daniel, and he says, will we get specific feedback on why one is not selected?
Unfortunately, each year we receive thousands of project submissions, so we can't offer detailed feedback to everyone, but certainly if you pass that initial cut and you get selected as a finalist, we'll be able to offer you more detailed feedback, and you will have support from mentors. What also we encourage you to do is make the most of our incubator program, where you'll get support, validation from peers and experts. There'll be coaches in our platform. There's certainly lots of opportunities to get feedback.
Perfect. There is someone asking if as a team leader, they need to be under 30, but the team members know. Like, for example, can team members be 30 or over, but not the team leader?
So I think what we said is every team member needs to be 18 to 30. You can be aged 18 and you can be aged 30, but not over the age of 30.
Okay, and so we have another question here is, other than the cash award, will we get support through, for example, rent office space or something similar?
So we don't offer a physical incubation space or membership of co-working spaces, but as part of our social shifters community, ensure that you register in our platform. And what we look to do is get on board as many partners as we can that can offer discounts or free subscriptions, or there'll be incentives involved. So beyond the cash award, there are certain incentives to being part of the social shifters community. And if you do take part in our incubator program, which you can if you submit an application, then you'll get access to all of our online learning for absolutely free. And you can also then get the opportunity to access mentors, peer support, and get access to our full community and benefits of being part of the social shifters movement. So make sure that you do submit that application to get all of those benefits.
Perfect. Someone is asking that they added team members and were applying, but the team members appear as invalidate. What does this mean? So I think when inviting team members, they might receive an email to join, but they also need to validate their account in the page to be able to be active in the application. So they might receive an email notification that they need to check and to join the team. But if you have any technical issues from that side, don't hesitate to email challenge@socialshifters.co. I'm going to repost for those who just joined. Feel free to send us any questions or technical issues via this email address. And we'll be able to to help.
And that's challenge@socialshifters.co and not .com, so it's .co.
Yeah, it can be confusing. So yeah, it's not a typo, it's .co. So yes, someone is asking that they have a problem showing a face show here, and might be a technical issue. We muted people just to have the questions in the chat because it's more manageable to have time for everyone to answer everyone. So that's the reason why we muted you, but we are here to answer all of your questions via the chat function. We have more popping. Can skilled members who support the project but can't apply due to being over 30 be referred to in the problem and solution description?
That's right. So in the application form, we will ask about the team behind the idea. Now that team can be much wider than the people that you register as team members. So you might work with advisors, supporters, mentors. So it's great to describe the full range of skills that you have behind your idea. But what we're looking at is a core of young people aged 18 to 30 years that are driving it forward and that will be registered as the competitors. And then please, in your application form, describe that wider network of support that you got. It really does demonstrate that you know, you've got the people required and the skills and expertise required to deliver your idea.
And so the next question is, can you change the status of your application from individual application to team members application?
So as far as I know, the team leader at any point up to the 9th of November, when applications close, you can add other further team members. So please ensure that you do that.
And the next one would be, can you tell me the topic of today, please? Okay. So basically, I think your name is Abdullah. I hope I'm saying it right. We're basically just attending to any questions that you have about the challenge. You can just drop your question within the chat, and the question could be about anything in regards to the challenge, whether you're having issues in terms of submitting it, or whether you have anything to do with your team members, or just literally anything to do with the challenge or the benefits of the challenge as well. So you can feel free to just put that into our chat.
And then someone is asking if there is a special form for writing the idea. Well, that's the application form that you need to complete. So once you register, you will automatically get to your application portal, and that's where you develop your idea. You'll have questions that are quite detailed. So it's about what actions you have to take to develop the idea. So the questions are quite developed, so they will guide you to what you need to explain in each category, in each sections. But yeah, I don't know if there are any more details. Oh yeah, there are non-profit initiatives accepted.
Yes, absolutely. For-profit, non-profit, and anywhere in between, we welcome project and business solutions. So yes, as long as the non-profit initiative is led by young people, we'll accept the idea.
And yeah, someone missed the benefits part, the benefits part, so of participating in the challenge. What do they get from participating, and especially applying, submitting an application? So it's basically you'll get the chance to win awards up to $10,000, and you have categories that you can apply for. So we said refugee, climate change, and health are the 3 categories. And you will also have the opportunity, if your application is eligible and you submitted it, you'll have access to the digital incubator program that we mentioned earlier in this session. So very useful, and it includes as well the steps to start the course. It's a premium course that will help develop your idea. So it's definitely worth applying and submitting your applications to get access to all of those benefits, and obviously connecting with other shifters around the world. So yeah, for any technical issues, email us at challenge@socialshifters.co, and we'll be able to help.
So the next question is, what's the maximum award amount? So as Christina just mentioned just now, it's up to $10,000. for the category awards. So the category awards are basically climate change, refugee, and health inequity. So those are the 3 top category awards that we're doing this year. However, we know that there are 17 SDGs, and so we're going to have various awards for those 17 SDGs. So if you, for instance, feel like you don't necessarily have an idea related to the category awards, we have all the other SDGs that you can apply for, and you will still get up to a certain amount of money that you could win for those specific SDGs.
Yeah, so those sustainable development goals cover everything from solving the issue of poverty to quality education, solving the climate crisis. So there, I think it's fair to say that any idea that you have that will contribute to solving a social and environmental problem, that we welcome it, and it will fit with one or more of the sustainable development goals. So please, if you've got an idea that will make a difference in the world, ensure that you register and submit your application before 9th of November.
Yeah. So the next question, is there any time period for this award? Well, the deadline for the challenge is the 9th of November. So I guess that would be your time period. So you'd need to submit your applications before the 9th of November. And once you get the award is yours. We don't give you a time frame for when you could use the cash awards or anything like that, as long as you're using the cash awards for your big idea.
And I think what we should probably also say is that the full rules and guidance for the Global Innovation Challenge are posted on at challenge.socialshifters.co. At the bottom of the page, there's links to the scoring criteria, so you'll know exactly what our judges are looking for. There's a link to the rules and guidelines for the competition, and you'll find answers to all of the frequently asked questions as well. So there's a lot of information on that webpage. So please take time to go through the guidelines. And once you're registered in your application portal, you'll also see some links to further guidance and support that might be beneficial when you're putting together your application. So make sure that you've registered and make sure that you're in there and can see the application form.
Someone is asking if outside the categories, can applications be considered? Yes, as long as they match at least one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, they are eligible. You don't have to select one of the 3 category, refugees, climate, and health. You also can suggest other ideas as long as they are connected to the UN SDGs. And then could the video be from one of the over 30s wider supporting members behind the team, or should it be from the team leader?
I think what we'd like to see is that young people aged 18 to 30 are leading the project. So certainly an advisor or supporter can be part of your presentation, can be part of the video, but that should be very much led by the young people that form the core part of the team.
So the next question is, what is the next step after sending you my idea? So after you successfully submit your application, we then have the Digital Incubator Program. And this program is basically supposed to help you and facilitate you with your big idea. We have mentorship going on in that program as well, if you are selected for it. And we also have good global networking in there as well. And we have a weekly, course. So we have hundreds of bite-sized resources that you're going to have access to as well. So we have so much in store for you. And this is pretty much feeding your idea into life and just helping you and your team members better that idea.
And then the following question we've already answered. So you don't have to have an idea that fits the 3 categories. It can, as long as it connects to at least one of the UN SDGs, you can submit your idea. You don't have to fit one of those 3 categories. And the following one is, can part of this award be used for capacity strengthening within an organization?
So what we would like to see is that $10,000 award going towards the delivery of your project. We want to see our funding being used to accelerate your work. Now, we realize that part of that might be about strengthening your capability or your capacity to deliver, but we would like to see the bulk of that award going towards the realization of your project. But there may be some costs associated with your organizational capacity, and that will be fine as long as it can demonstrate that this award will help realize the project and won't go to supporting overhead or management costs for other project activity.
Then the next one is, can someone tell me a step to take in facing challenges in business idea? I think these are the kinds of topics we would be talking about in the digital incubator, you know, everything about developing your business idea, making an impact. All those things are resources, and we have resources about these that can help you develop your idea, both in our platform, but also in our courses. So that's why we encourage you, even you have an early stage idea, you can still apply and then access, if your application is eligible, you can access all of these tools and resources to develop your idea from there.
And the other point I would make is once you do register and get into the application portal, what you'll see is some links to the left-hand side of the platform that provide some great resources. Two in particular relate to the design of a project and the design of a business solution. And those are really good guides that you can go in, and it gives you all of the building blocks of a successful project or business solution. So these are the things that you really need to consider around all of the main aspects of project design. So it's really helpful. So make sure that you register and get into that competition portal, and you'll get that that great guide that can use really to help you think through the design of your application as well.
Okay, and I think most of the other questions we've answered already. For instance, can we apply alone as a team? So guys, even though you missed the first part of this Zoom session, we're definitely recording it for you, and we'll also have it on all our social media platforms. So you could definitely look back onto it. The full video will probably be on our YouTube video. So we might have bits of it on our Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn, but the full actual video will be on our YouTube. So don't feel like you've missed out on anything, because I know that some of you are probably panicking and asking, oh, I didn't get to hear this, I didn't get to hear that. So just follow our YouTube page, and then you will definitely get the full answers of what we've discussed today.
And one very final question, how can I apply to the platform? Very simply, go to the webpage, challenge.socialshifters.co, and there you'll see two buttons, one to register and one to log in. Just make sure that you register, provide a few basic pieces of information and a password, and you'll get into our competition platform. And then using the same password, you can log back in and complete that application form at any point up until the 9th of November.
Perfect. We've just sent some of the links, to our page, the challenge page, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, our email address. Follow us on social media, on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and make sure to tag us as well to maybe win one of those t-shirts. I think we are getting to the end of this session, and thank you, John, for joining us to answer all of these questions. We hope this has been useful for everyone. Thanks to everyone who joined and asked us questions. I guess that's a session. That's a wrap.
Thanks, everyone. Good luck with your applications. Get on there. challenge.socialshifters.co. Get it started.
Yep. And get it submitted.
Yes, submit your applications before the 9th. Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.